description of your case?
Any ideas on what to draw?
The first case would be careless driving and possession of
A boring city.
methamphetamine first offense. The second
This has
case,
no
which
inspiration.
would be the second time he pulled me over from the gas station, would be possession of methamphetamine first offense and non-illuminated tag lights.
I really don't want to draw a bike.
Yeah, and then the third case that involves
The city
sheriff's
is
department
uninspirational.
trafficking in a controlled substance.
I'm gonna draw a cow.
Methamphetamine, not notifying the DOT of an address change, and paraphernalia. So, and all together, it's about 12 to 15 years is what I'm looking at.
Has it been difficult to get information or records about your case? And how has this impacted you, either emotionally or financially?
The whole reasonable suspicion, probable cause kind of thing, they called the drug dog, and the drug dog indicated on the vehicle. There wasn't ever anything found in the vehicle.
I think the head was a bit
It was on my
disproportionate.
person, what they found, and they searched for that truck like 3 times in that video, and at the very end, you'll hear the officer that the canine unit belonged to say that he found a rose and some scales in there, but he threw them in the parking lot. He acted like it was no big deal. It's like, and I'm like, I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, because I'm trying to, be aware of everything that's happening, trying to make mental notes of it, such, so I can, fight it, myself. And
Aw,
I'm just thinking to myself,
little
you just
cow.
threw out some illegal drugs that you found and some paraphernalia, like a scale in a church parking lot where a child could just pick that up, and like, no, you didn't. That's ridiculous. And in the video it shows Officer Hendricks throw one of the test kits into the weeds. After he tested it and he didn't get the result that he wanted, he throws it, and then they had to get another test, and he radioed into dispatch that he needed a second opportunity to conduct the test again. I mean, this is there's some shady stuff going on around here in West Kentucky. It's kind of scary to think about it.
Now, as we said at the beginning of the show, our focus today is on the use and abuse of police power. But it's not just a matter of parsing the law enforcement overreach we witnessed with Philip. That's because there are implications about this type of government intervention that go beyond an arrest or the errant application of the law. I was thinking about police power, oddly enough, when Stephen was telling me about a book by the famous author Kurt Vonnegut called Galapagos. As with most of his novels, Vonnegut uses a somewhat surreal narrative to explore one of the most fraught topics that often goes overlooked, meaning how we, as human beings, possess one of the most ephemeral and potent powers in the universe, namely consciousness, and what havoc it can wreak on the world around us. Now, I know you're probably rolling your eyes and saying, Taya, what on earth are you talking about? I mean, I appreciate the fact that you like books, but what does Kurt Vonnegut in consciousness have to do with police power? Well, give me a chance to explain. In the book, Vonnegut goes on to write that one of the most potent weapons of what he characterizes as our huge brain is pretty simple, but a very potent concept, an idea. In this case, Vonnegut writes in the book that the idea of the value of money has evaporated because people simply decided it was worthless. So the idea that paper money no longer holds value leads to a breakdown of the world's financial system and eventually starvation and death for millions of people. But I think his point goes beyond our perception of value or our thoughts about money. I think what he shows in the novel is how something ephemeral, an idea, can be more powerful and potent than anything more tangible. In fact, I think the point that he's trying to make is profound, that a thought or perception wholly existent in our head can actually shape the physical world in ways that seem so much anymore. Which brings me back to the topic of police power, because in the arrest you just witnessed is an idea that has far-reaching implications similar to what Vonnegut outlined in his book, that the root of the police power you just witnessed is the result of our idea that the proximity to a substance or plant or a manufactured chemical is so morally depraved that it warrants a complete embracement of our rights. In other words, we have embraced the collective idea that simple possession or suspicion of possession of a pill or a plant is egregious enough to take our freedom and property and dignity at the discretion of a profession accountable to no one. Let's remember that this whole idea that the possession of a substance somehow justifies the harshest penalties a society can mete out all began as acts, better known as the Harrison Narcotics Act. Enacted in 1913, the idea was simply to order and regulate the flow of opium and cocaine, not criminalize it. But over time, a bureaucracy emerged that slowly infused possession of a variety of substances with the idea. Similar to it, constituted and warranted severe punishments. Eventually, this tax and the 1937 marijuana tax were weaponized against the public. Now, it is interesting to note that much of this evolution was not a matter of legal scholarship or philosophical inquiry, but rather a narrative constructed by the media. Or again, simply an idea. Just look at films like Reefer Madness, or how journalists fused fear of immigrants and racialized mistrust with the use of mind-altering substances into a toxic cocktail that makes it so easy for politicians to propaganda. Meanwhile, by the 1970s, attempted so-called war on drugs and the resulting mayhem and intrusion on our constitutional rights ushered us into the resulting mess we live with. But again, all of this started with an idea, and truthfully, I don't think anyone can remember where it originated at all. I mean, as recently as 2010, my state of Maryland spent $100 million arresting people for marijuana, according to a report by the ACLU of Maryland. Now, I can literally walk into a dispensary close to my home and buy it.